Hello. Hello and good evening. I'm very sorry for being late. Late yet again. Late at the gate. So terribly sorry. Still got the nasty little scar on my nose, courtesy of the nasty nav. Creep that he is. Um, Cheers to you and cheers to me and cheers to all that disagree. Don't like people who are nasty to me. Had a few of them today. So today has been a day of experiencing yet more nastiness from other people as well. So, yeah, if someone's nasty to you and they go on about their spirituality and you're going to get the bad karma, well, that's what I got from one of them. She can shove it up her jumper. She's another nutcase. Complete, absolute fruitcake, absolute vile, nasty little girl who should grow up the three by three, the three kids by three dads. So, don't like you. So, don't you send me any more messages, you nasty bitch. Thank you very much. That's what I want to say to her. So, I've told her where to go. Shove it up your jumper. Right, come back to England, back to the nice people. Well, I will be. Around about the 12th of July, I think I'll be in England. I'm making arrangements. So I will be back in England and I'll escape all this lunacy. The lunatic people are not suitable for me, are they? So there we are. Anyway, good for you all for arriving. Thank you. You're all lovely people, and thank you for having the patience to tolerate me and my mad situations. Um, Thankfully, my nose is getting a little better by the look of it on the screen, but it doesn't look like that in reality, I can tell you that. And my ribs are pretty bad, but a certain man who's a friend of mine, he's going to deal with the situation, put it that way. So he won't be getting away with it. The little rat will be dealt with. Rats don't win, ever. We don't tolerate rats, and we don't tolerate bullies. So bullies and rats get dealt with. So be warned, you person. You know who you are. And you're at a nice little wedding party tonight. And guess what? You didn't even know that person without me knowing me. I was the one invited to the wedding originally. And you latched on like the little rat that you are. You're a rat. So the rat will be dealt with. So rat, be warned. Don't worry, a call has been made. Put it that way. That's all I need to say. There we go. Yeah, rats get dealt with. Pigs get cuddled. We love pigs and we love all sorts of other things, but we don't love rats. Nobody loves a rat. And the person concerned is a rat and has always been a rat. He's been a useless person who's used and abused me. I've given evidence for him in two court cases to try and save him. He's a rat. He came to my house in Broadstairs and he assaulted one of my fellow guests, who was one of my oldest friends. And my oldest friend is right. I mean, God, I haven't even had the courtesy to call him yet and tell him what happened, which I should, and say, you were right about this creep. He was a creep. He was always a creep, and he will never, ever be forgiven. He's a rat. Rats are rats, and rats get dealt with. Don't worry. Rats will be exterminated, and he's on the list. He will be on the list that won't be missed. Good riddance to the creep. I'm still in rather a lot of pain in my ribs, and I've spoken with one of his friends today, even, who's got the same name as him, but he comes from Yorkshire. And he's a decent guy. He's nothing wrong with him. Bit eccentric, but nice guy. And he was rather shocked by the whole thing as well. But sorry, no. In Scotland, you'd call him a bampot. The rat can rat off, precisely. Well, I hope he enjoys the wedding, because when he returns to London, he will be met with a certain welcome. That's all I shall say. I don't know what will happen. It's nothing to do with me. I've not encouraged anything. I haven't ordered anything. It's not, I'm not like some criminal gangs pop person, but a certain person who I've spoken with today is very upset about the matter. And given the person works in a certain sector of the industry, um, he will be, well, let's see what happens. That's all I shall have to say. Nothing to do with me. Didn't ask for it. Didn't want it. Don't want anything. I don't know what will happen. I just mentioned it. So, but the certain person is very upset that I've had my ribs broken. And having my ribs broken, it's extremely painful. I'm very upset. I'm extremely upset. But I don't encourage anyone to do anything that's illegal or whatever. I don't want anyone to do anything that's bad. It's not down to me. As I said, that's why I spoke about it in the other video. Um, but nobody treats me badly and gets away with it. It's not correct. Nobody should treat anyone badly and get away with it. Everyone should be brought to justice. And he ought to be brought to justice for what he's done. Because, quite frankly, I've been nothing other than a good friend. And and I haven't told you the full story. And if I told you the full story of what he has done to a certain girl, that's the reason this fight started, and that is the reason that he should not be able to hold his head in anything other than shame. Shame on him. He's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. And I won't go into it because I don't think it's fair on the girl. But if we have to come to it, I will tell the whole story. If it comes to a further war, I will tell you the whole story. But tonight I won't tell you the whole story because, I think this poor girl is going through enough right now. And I think you can probably make an estimated guess at what this idiot, spoilt child has done to this girl. But there we go. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it any further tonight, but there we go. So, but I have been abused and I've been beaten and abused, and a certain friend of mine is not very happy about it. And I hope he actually watches this program, this moron, because he should learn the lesson. Don't mess with me. I don't take on people without having my army ready behind me. And I have generals and chiefs who are actually bigger than me who can take you on, you little rat. So don't you ever, ever speak to me again. And don't you ever come near me. Don't go to PJ's. If you go to PJ's, I'll have you thrown out because I'm friends with all the people there. I don't want you in any of the places I go. Leave me alone. Just disappear from my life. If you don't, you'll pay the consequences because I don't like the fact that you've broken my ribs. It's a terrible thing that you did, you nasty little rat. And I gave evidence for you in 2 court cases. I supported you. I saved your job on one occasion from when everybody wanted rid of you. I said, please keep him because he's actually a nice man. But you're not a nice man at all. You're a rat. I was hoodwinked. I can admit when I get it wrong. This guy is a rat. And he's at my friend's wedding, who I've known much longer than he's known my friend. And I'm not at the wedding. There you go. Says it all, doesn't it? But he likes to inveigle his way in, and he has his fancy watches and all the rest of it. Yeah, well, you and your fancy watches, you've threw all my clothes in the sea, you little rat. So, no apologies to you. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to talk about him anymore. It's boring. He's a boring, boring person. I hope he shoves it up his own arse or his own jumper or whatever he does, because he's a creep. Daddy's giving him a Lamborghini anyway, so oh yeah, he's having a lovely Lamborghini from Daddy for what he's done, his naughty behaviour. Hmm. Charming, that, eh? What a lovely thing that his father did. Don't like your father either, so I don't like any of your family. You're horrible people. No forgiveness for any of that family. Um, Bigoted, horrible family. Horrible to other people. Nasty people. It's nothing to do with Broadstairs, no. Right. Okay. I should have gone to the wedding. No, if I'd gone to the wedding, there might have been a fight, and I don't want to ruin someone's wedding. And I'm already injured, and I don't want. I'm still in pain. The pain's going down because I have had a lot of painkillers. I will admit I took too many painkillers last night, which did knock me out, which sent me to sleep. That was a very good idea because I needed to sleep. Um, Tonight, I'll just have some whiskey. At the moment, I've got a bottle of Chianti because Madeline's gone to bed with the rosé that we've got left over. So it's better she drinks the rosé and I drink the Chianti. But the Chianti might send me to sleep. But I need something to send me to sleep. The pain in the night is so bad, and I have to sleep flat. It's and then in the morning you can't literally get up. I've never experienced pain like this. And my friend Terry, who I was speaking with earlier, he said to me, it's this pain will last for like 14 days. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's awful. But he did this to me, and it's shameful, isn't it? And I'm disgusted. Arnica is not the solution. No, no. Lying on my back's the solution, and taking the painkillers that I've been given by the hospital and the Nurofen Express as well that I throw in as a bit of an extra. And a bit of Chianti or whiskey or whatever. Whiskey will definitely help me knock me out tonight. So I'm going to have whiskey tonight because I've forgotten to have the whiskey. But the minute I go to bed and I don't remember to take any of these things, the pain kicks in and I don't sleep. And the heat here is very hot. But having the window open means you get the mosquitoes. So you have to make a choice. Do you want the heat or do you want the mosquitoes? So there you go. But there we go. No, it doesn't matter. I'm doing third world problems here. It's not the end of the world, for seriously. And tomorrow we'll have a nice day out. I think tomorrow we'll actually go on a day out finally. We've been to a little party tonight, a little drinks party with some of the neighbours. It's not very exciting, a little party, but it was okay. It was all the kind of busybody neighbours, and they're all about 90 and frankly boring. But anyway, we smiled politely, and she sat on a chair, and I tried to talk to some of them, and most of them didn't want to talk to her, so because they don't want to talk to her because she doesn't have anything to say, and they didn't want to talk to me because I'm not quite frankly of any relevance to them. But a couple of them came over and they were very friendly, so we had a nice time for half an hour, and we got through the barrier and drove up there and went to the drinks party. But quite frankly, I'd rather eat wasps, nail, and paving stones. But anyway, they were very nice people, and the staff actually are the best people. I always enjoy talking to the staff at the party because the staff are all from the local office and management, and they actually enjoy chatting with me. They're the only ones that I actually find interesting. I don't find the actual neighbours of any consequence in this instance. They're all just pompous people. But anyway, Never mind. I enjoyed talking to the staff. The staff are lovely, lovely, humble people, and they have decency, and they speak with grace, and they make an effort to try and say, "How are you doing?" And I say, "How's your daughter doing?" And this lady says, "Well, my daughter's studying fashion in Paris." And I say, "Well, that's wonderful," and we talk about that, and that's much more interesting than talking to these boring neighbours who've just got, "Oh yeah, I'm here because I've got my yacht. I'm rich." Basically, that's all they care about. Boring people. Don't really like those kind of people. I like the actual staff. I like people who are more authentic. So I'd rather talk to an authentic person. Are French hospitals good? Well, they're better than bloody English hospitals, I will say. They're much quicker. They deal with you much quicker. So, yeah, we've been looked after very well in our multiple visits during our stay since January, both her and I. So, yeah, I've only had one visit myself, but she's had four. So, five, maybe. Five, I think. Five. I think she's had five. Um, they can get a bit sick of her, but that's kind of understandable. Right. Okay. What do I think of Andrew Gold's Heretics? I've met Andrew Gold. I haven't spoken with him in a long time. I think he, I think he is not really interested in me. So I think he thinks that I'm some kind of boring person. He's not, who's beneath him. So I don't think he bothers to correspond with me. So no, I wish him well, but well, there we go. I've had correspondence with him in the past, and I've met him, but he never replies because I didn't get him an interview with Gina Miller. So, I'm not here to just be some kind of servant. So, anyway, I wish him well. Anyway, oh, now we've got things coming up on the WhatsApp. Sorry, it's interfering. Um, what's going on with Justin Bieber? I don't know. No idea. Don't know anything about Justin Bieber. Not really interested in Justin Bieber. Couldn't give a damn. So sorry, can't answer your question. Sorry, Stevie D. I'm not being rude, but I just don't know anything about Justin Bieber. Right. Any more questions? Do I know where all the Nazi gold is buried? No. I know as much as you. Simple answer. So there we go. Right, next question. How pleased were you about Eureka 1 year sobriety? I don't know what that means. I've no idea. Eureka, I assume you're talking about Eureka Johnson. She's a disgusting person. I don't like Eureka. She's a piece of toe rag. She's a shameful piece of rubbish. Eureka Johnson. Right. Um, do I think Donald Trump is worthy of a peace prize? No, not yet. Maybe one day, who knows? Donald Trump is changing the world, I will admit. Give the man a chance, but um, I'm not his biggest fan, and I don't really care for all this Jeff Bezos wedding nonsense either. So before we start going on anything else, I don't really like the Jeff Bezos wedding in Venice. It's horrible, isn't it? It's just naff and tacky. But he can afford to pay for it, so he's doing it. But he's ruining the lives of the people in the city. And given my relatives have homes in Venice, um, we're not very happy about this. Let's be honest. That's how we feel as householders. So there you go. Right. Will I be coming to Cork? Well, I'd love to come to Cork and I'd love to come to Dublin. Yes. The Blue Nomad says everywhere's nicer than Dublin. I don't know. I'd love to go to Dublin. I've never been to Dublin, so no, I don't think I have a problem with Dublin. No. Right. I don't know what you're having an argument about here, but right. Okay, we can have an argument, but it seems a funny thing to have an argument about. It's not very exciting as an argument. Cork versus Dublin. Dublin has got very run down, says the awkward Yeti. What do I think of Japanese whiskey? It's all right, but I prefer Scottish. Ron from Sean Atwood's show has had some gins. Oh, that's good for him. I hope he's enjoyed them. Okay, I hope he enjoyed them. Can I levitate? No, I've never been known to levitate, and I don't plan to. So, if you wish to levitate, please do, Miss Melville, or whatever your name is. If you wish to levitate, please do it. What do I think on gin jar minge? I don't know what that means. So absolutely no idea. There we go. No idea. What are my suggestions for an argument? Why would you want to have an argument? Make peace. Better be peaceful than start a war. Don't start a war, because otherwise you end up with a nose like mine and broken ribs. Not a good idea, is it really? So don't start an argument. I'm the classic case right now for don't start an argument. So thank you very much. Did aliens land in Roswell? I've no idea. I couldn't give two hoots. Probably a load of old rubbish. What a load of old rot. Okay, next question. Am I wearing orange socks tonight? There you go. There's your evidence. Am I wearing an orange belt tonight? There you go. There's your evidence. So don't bang on about me wearing orange. I was going to wear the orange jacket, but it's on the table and I'm not going to be moving because why should I move? So it'd be stupid. Was Trevor banned? I don't know about this Trevor. I don't have a clue. There are people on this program who are called moderators. I don't know what moderators do. I've no idea about any of this. And what this Trevor, what was this Trevor saying? I've no idea. I don't know. If it was something to do with Sam Palmer, please go away. You're a pest. I'm not going to have you on here. And thank you if they got rid of him. But I don't know who this Trevor. This Dixie says Trevor was banned. It's outrageous. Well, I don't even know who this Trevor is. Seriously. There are many people who come on this program who say very nasty things. And these nice moderating people try and help me, like this Keeley. But Keeley says she didn't ban Trevor. So who banned the Trevor? Keeley, can you reinstate Trevor? I don't know. Is that possible? Because I don't know how to. I've utterly no idea. I don't know who Trevor even bloody is. Yes, he answers Cilla Black to everything in the quiz. He did that. Do I keep in contact with the people in Broadstairs? Of course I do. Yes, I love the people in Broadstairs. Some of them were meant to be coming to stay, but they missed their plane because of the electrical strikes. Ron called me a legend. Okay, well, that's very nice of him. I don't know why he'd do that. But what did he call me a legend for? Thank you, Jan. I have to reinstate him. I don't know how I do this. I've utterly no idea. Don't know how you do such a thing. I don't know anything about computers. I'm totally useless. Um, it's a funny thing. I had this man in England who deals with computers for me, but he's not always around and he's not much use. So I don't really know how to do this. But this Trevor, or whatever he's called, I didn't ban him from anything. Why would I ban him? It's utterly ridiculous. Do you think I've got the time to focus on banning some man called Trevor, or something? I don't know. I don't have any war with him. Unless he was, I've got rid of a few others, but I will admit, I just pressed stop. But anyway, what's wrong with this Trevor? I don't know how we get this Trevor to come back. If you really want this Trevor back, why does he want to come back? If I'm that awful, why do you want to come back? I'm the one that banned him. I don't believe I banned him at all. I don't believe I banned. The only people I ban are the people who talk about Sam Palmer. So if he talks about Sam Palmer, of course I will have banned him. Yes. Right. Um, right. Anyway, you're obsessed with Trevor. I don't know what. I don't know how we get this Trevor back in the room. I've no idea. Utterly no idea. You invite him to come back. That's all you have to do. It's not down to me. If he wants to come back, he can come back. But he better be polite this time. And he better not piss me off. If he has pissed me off, I don't know. I don't know. I remember him, but I don't remember what he did at the end. But I didn't ban him. I don't remember willingly banning him. So maybe he's gone on holiday. Right. Okay. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Can we talk about something else, please? I'm really uninterested in this awful person who doesn't seem to be of any consequence to me. You know, I don't like people who are rude. So, no. And if he's whinging and whining, he sounds like a complete bore anyway. So, do I really want him back? Totally, probably not. So, right, okay, let's move on. Next question. Any more questions? I don't want to hear any more about him. I'm bored of him. He's as boring as the village bike. The McCanns, yes, well, we don't like them. So, yeah, that's true. You still think that Grim Greta is a bad person? Yeah, well, of course. What do I think of Edward Heath? Well, nasty little man, horrible creep, obviously involved in Broadstairs and sailing and all the rest of it. Not a quality person. Michael Barrymore jumping into a shopping trolley. I don't know what he's done into a shopping trolley, but he likes to make videos, doesn't he? Well, he thinks he's very funny. He's not. Michael Barrymore is awful. You want to free Simon Coates and Sue Long. I don't know who Sue Long is. Or Simon. Simon Coates I've heard of. I've no idea who Sue Long is, but Ron gave you a shout out. Okay, well, that's very kind of Ron. We like Ron, he's all right. Alex Belfield is cashing in on the Lucy Connolly incident. Alex Belfield is a disgusting pig who should shut his mouth and he should shut his fucking trap. He's a disgrace. He's just got out of jail and he should put a sock in it. Shame on him. I don't like him. He's a piece of rot. He's just like Katie Hopkins, his little sidekick. Clear off, bog off, shove it up your jumper, and get out of our house. We don't want you in our pub. Precisely. That's how I feel about you, Alex Belfield. There's my thoughts on Alex Belfield. If you wanted my thoughts, as Jonas asked, there you go. Shove it up, you jumper. Right. You've seen a silly video of Barrymore and the trolley. I haven't seen the video, but I don't watch this nonsense. Please stop wasting your lives watching anything to do with Barrymore. Barrymore is a bitch and a bastard. He's a shameful piece of scumbag. Don't waste your life watching him because you're making him money every time you watch. Please don't do that. Don't help him make money. Please. Stuart Lubbock's family deserve justice. 9 people went to a party. 8 of them lived. Michael Barrymore was one of the ones that ran away. Shame on him. And I say to you this very evening, don't make Michael Barrymore rich. Stop it. Put a stop to your watching his rubbish. Turn him off. Delete his channel. Everybody who watches him is making him money. It is wrong. Let's make Michael Barrymore poor. Delete and delete and delete again. Do not watch Michael Barrymore. The less of you that watch, the better it is. Stop watching Michael Barrymore. That's my advice to you. Okay. Paulie says, I'd like you to work with Adrian Allen. I don't know who Adrian Allen is. So, you keep mentioning people. I don't have a clue who they are. What do I think of Bernie Ecclestone? Obviously, I don't like Bernie Ecclestone. Bernie Ecclestone doesn't like me. Mutual dislike. So there we go. I'll leave it at that. Right. Okay. Do I like the royal family? Asked Terry Sheridan. Yes, I think King Charles is absolutely fabulous, and I love Queen Camilla. I love Prince William and Princess Catherine. I think the Princess of Wales. Absolutely lovely people. They're doing a great job. Princess Anne, another lovely example. I don't like Prince Andrew, of course, as you do know, and I don't like Fergie. So they're the two that I don't like. And then there's Meghan and Harry, but I don't consider them really royal because they're non-working royals. They're nobodies. But there you go. So yeah, there you go. That's my answer to that. Right. What do I think of Prince Edward? I think he behaves with dignity, as does his lovely wife. So they're perfectly dignified, but they're not major royal figures like the ones I've mentioned. So I went through the major, not the minor. Okay. Right. Next question. Are my ribs feeling any better? Well, a little, but that's probably because I've had a little bit of booze and I've had a little bit of pills. The pills and the booze together seem to help, and a bit of lunch, a nice lunch. I cooked a pasta pesto, and then we went to a little drinks party, and we had a bit of snacks and all the rest of it. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Right. Okay. You don't like Kitty. Kitty, I don't like Kitty. Kitty is a nasty piece of work. We all know that Kitty is someone who, once he dies, will be exposed for what he really is. But we can't say it at the time, can we? What do I think of our other Queen, Elton John? Well, he's living La Vida Loca at Jeff Bezos's wedding, isn't he? He's having a lovely time. His old Elton, along with his titleless husband. Old Furnitureless, David Furnitureless. Who likes a bit of rolling around in olive oil, little olive oil boy. Um, Lovely little class act he is. He's tried to threaten me in legal terms in the past. So, yeah, David Furnish. I can't stand Elton and Furnish. They are awful. They're just up there with Stephen Fry, the man who's been attacking the lovely J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, who speaks for us all. J.K. Rowling speaks sense. J.K. Rowling is a voice of reason. We have to say, enough is enough. It's time to say, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And I was listening to Radio 4 this very morning, and I had it was Melvin Bragg, who's a bit of a lunatic. But I used to take the train with him when I was at university back to Cumbria at the weekend from university. And I don't know how I pulled it off, but as a student, I found some cheap way of getting a first class ticket on the train. And, I could sit in first class, so I could drink all the way on the train. And I'd have food and drink and whatever. This was back in the day. This was this is back in 2001. But he was always on the same train as me. So I'd sit on, I never ever chatted to the man, never met him, never ever talked to him. So anyway, Melvin Bragg today was on the radio. And he was talking about dragons and how dragons were in different eras. Obviously, I had my incident in Broadstairs with the woman, well, the creature, who considered herself a dragon. And this thing, because I'm not meant to call it a woman, I do apologize. But quite frankly, I shouldn't apologize because it is a woman. It was born a woman. And it's frankly a bloody woman. So it should grow up and man up and show up as a woman. And she said, I'm a dragon. I said, sorry. She said, I identify as a dragon. I said, well, you can't be a dragon. You're a woman. You clearly look like a woman. She said, no. I'm a dragon. I said, well, and this is where she tricked me. And then, but actually today I've now been corrected again. So what happened was she said, I can identify as a dragon. I said, but are you a male dragon or a female dragon? And she said, no. Dragons are mythical. So I can be either or. So that's how she identified. So she said, so I had to admit that I was wrong. She was a mythical person, so she was therefore a dragon. But on the program today, Melvin Bragg quite correctly identified that there were male and female dragons. So you, Mrs. Broadstairs woman, you're wrong. You're totally wrong. Listen to this radio program. I hope you do listen, you nasty little woman. Well, you are a woman. You're not actually anything other than a woman. Grow up, man up, and show up, you stupid piece of rubbish. So I don't approve of LGBTQ plus XYZ shove it up your jumper nonsense. I would rather go to prison with J.K. Rowling than put up with this nonsense. So I won't be having any more of this nonsense on my channel. So I will stand up for J.K. Rowling against Stephen Fry. So if you don't like my opinions, you have the right to bog off. So no, yeah, the nut is everywhere. Precisely, Mary Taylor. Totally agree. Nicola Mooney agrees with me. Dragon up, yeah, bog off. Good point of view, says Jane. I will stand up against irrationality. I don't want any more of this nonsense in my world. I don't need to pretend that a man is a woman, a man who transitions is a, whatever. You either are a man or a woman. You're born one thing or the other. There is nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being bi. There's nothing wrong with being lesbian. But all this extra nonsense is a load of rubbish. Absolute load of two hoots. It's absolutely ridiculous. You identify as Claire Mandel. Well, poor you. Well, if you were Claire Mandel, my God, you'd be real sad. Gay dragons. Well, a dragon can be male or female, but she claimed dragons are mythical, so they couldn't be. She could be anything she wanted to be. That was her. Right? That was her way of identifying. But the program actually said no, there were male dragons and female dragons. So she actually is wrong. Where are my German friends tonight? They've moved on. They've sailed away like Enya. Do I think Macron's wife? I don't really care about Macron's wife. I don't know whether Macron's wife is a male or a female, but it doesn't really matter to me. But there is something very odd about the story, isn't there? There's something odd about how this boy met this person much older, but there is always Mrs. Robinson moments in the world, aren't there? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know President Macron. I've never met him. I've never spent time with him. I've never met the woman or whatever you think she may be. She does look a little bit manly, I will admit, but that doesn't mean she's a man. She just might be an ugly woman. She is quite ugly, I will admit. There we go. My pronouns are whatever. Yeah, precisely. There are many nutty people around, precisely. What happened to Finn? He went mad and went off with an older woman. He's totally gone nuts as well. But that wasn't my fault. That's nothing to do with me. That happened after I left Broadstairs. So suppose he's taken up with an elderly mad woman. So I don't know. I haven't heard from him in months. Right. I don't do pronouns, no. Not into pronouns, not interested in that. What do I think of Bonnie Blue? Bonnie Blue is an utter disgrace. She's a hooker. She's disgusting. She's just a village bike. But is she a man or is she a woman? We don't know. We don't know if Bonnie Blue could be a transsexual as well. There we are. We've had that story spread around. So yeah, we don't like Bonnie Blue. Doesn't matter what Bonnie Blue is. She's just a dirty old slut, isn't she? Let's be honest. Lily Phillips. I think that's another one of the same type. I don't think she's a man, but she's still horrible. She's a slut. Zenaida loves J.K. Rowling. Well, we're saluting J.K. Rowling. Yes. Okay. Hello, it says Lisa Wolstenholme from Salford in Manchester. You've got a great name. I like Wolstenholme. That's a very northern name, isn't it? It's a great northern name. As a fellow northerner like you, rock on. We like people like you. Yeah, we like a good old northerner. So, have I ever met Paul O'Grady? No, never met him. He's dead, I believe. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know why you're asking, but rather random question. But have I met Ricky Gervais? No, and I think he's so boring and not my kind of. Oh, he's so dull. He's not my kind of humor. Awful. Not my thing. Just I like certain kinds of humor, but I don't like him. There we go. Have I met Harvey Proctor? No, never met him, but obviously the Hamiltons knew him and were very. But I don't. I think he's a revolting, awful man. Never met him. Not my kind of person. Hope never to meet Harvey Proctor. Awful, awful, vile-looking man. He looks vile, and there's something wicked about looking about him. He's no unappealing. Is Starmer the worst prime minister ever? He's not the worst ever, but he's just awful. He's pretty awful. Yeah, but the worst ever would have to be Gordon Brown. Can't stand Gordon Brown. He was the worst. Awful. Appalling. Right. Okay. Who's my favourite comedian? Catherine Tate. Loved Catherine Tate. Absolutely fabulous. Or Victoria Wood. Do I like With Nail and I? Of course, I love With Nail and I, and it was filmed at my father's friend's neighbour's house. So of course we loved the With Nail and I. Right. Boris Johnson is a liar. Well, he is a liar. Yes, I agree with you. Alfie's mum loves Catherine Tate too. Well, I love Catherine Tate. Catherine Tate's the best. We love a bit of Catherine Tate. Do I like Derek from the Catherine Tate Show? Well, I like everybody from the Catherine Tate Show. So everything from the Catherine Tate Show is absolutely lovely. So there we go. That's my answer to that. You miss seeing Catherine Tate on the telly. Wonder what she's doing now. Well, yeah, she's been cancelled because political correctness. We can't have people like Catherine Tate making fun of things, can we? Because it's not acceptable, is it? What a load of old bollocks. We need more people like Catherine Tate, and we need more people like Hyacinth Bucket. Hyacinth Bucket has been banned on the BBC because, oh no, it's too middle class and she's too pompous and too white. How can you ban Hyacinth Bucket? That is ridiculous, isn't it? Viewers, we should have a revolution. We want Hyacinth back. We want our bucket. We want the bucket woman. She's a total nutcase. She's the neighbor from hell. Every village, you always had a person who was like her, who existed in your village. She did exist everywhere. I've examined this story in depth in the past. I did a story about it once, and I went to 5 villages and I said, define your hyacinth. And they all had one. Oh, yes. There was always a lady of the village that was the lady who thought she was a bit grander. We had one called Angela Worthington in our village, and she was a snob beyond belief. She had big gates months, and she dared come to the school and tell me how I should pronounce something. And I gave her a lesson in elocution, and she didn't like that. She was a pest. And she drove a Volvo, and a big Volvo, and she was terribly rich, and she was very into gardening, and she had a big electric gates, and she ended up her buying, her son bought the local pub, and she was terribly nice. And yeah, well, I told her to bog off. I was, even as a child, not prone to idiocy, and she didn't understand linguistics. So I gave her a lesson back, and she wasn't expecting that. So she sat there and looked at me. And then she came to see my mother, and she gave my mother a lecture. And my mother said, well, actually, my child's right, and you're stupid. So she was taught a lesson. So never, ever tolerate nonsense from the village idiot. And that's why we should always have programs like Herbs in Bucket, because they're actually quite funny. And you know about how I told you the stories of how I downed vodka shots with Betty Boothroyd and Hyacinth. And I've had a lovely time with those two ladies. But equally, I've educated people, and they have educated people too. And they're wonderful. They're fabulous people. They're the opposite of Stephen Fry, who should put a sock in it. Steve Fry should shut his mouth. Insulting J.K. Rowling is totally wrong. Not acceptable in 1984, and definitely not acceptable in 2025. We don't want you, Stephen Fry. Go away. Bore off, you boring, stupid moron. You are a pest. J.K. Rowling is speaking for the world. We don't care about you. And you've made a fortune out of J.K. Rowling, so take your little profit. I've had to spend a weekend with you. You are the most boring man I've ever met. I hope never to meet you ever again. And of course, you probably hope never to meet me ever again, because you hate me, probably, if I dare even speak. Because, he's an awful person, says Flabby. Right. Okay. Well, I just don't like Stephen Fry. I will admit it. He's just not my kind of person. You'd like me to do audiobooks. Well, I don't know why you want me to do audiobooks. I wouldn't be any good at that. Stephen Fry is a chicken hawk. What do I think of David Williams? I don't know David Williams. Never personally met the man, but he's rather talented. But he seems a bit troubled. I don't know. But I did know his psychiatrist, and yeah, he's definitely got a lot of problems. But I don't know him personally, so I can't personally say very much. Right. Um, you think it's amazing to think Patricia Routledge is still alive? Well, now I'm delighted Patricia Routledge is still alive. It's better she's still alive than she's dead, isn't it? Because she's an absolute heroine. We love Patricia Routledge. Patricia Routledge is an absolute national treasure. We love our national treasures, and that's a wonderful thing. There we go. Yes, overinflated ego of the nasty little rat. Yeah, well, we know he's a rat. He's a rat, 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 rat. Did I ever know Flora Hurd? Yes, I did know Flora Hurd. Of course, she lived in the north of England, and that's how we knew her. And what a lovely, lovely lady Flora Hurd was. and what a national treasure. She was simply the best. Sadly died many, many years ago, but songs of praise and all the things she did. Fora was a kind-hearted, lovely lady, and I didn't know her well, but she was just such a nice lady. She wasn't, I was a child, so she died when I was a child, so but she was such a lovely, lovely, lovely person to have in your orbit because she had that lovely accent, didn't she? She had that lovely little twang that brought joy to the world. And isn't it lovely to have a bit of joy? We all need a bit of joy in our lives. So, yeah, I I nearly cry when I think of for her. Right. Did I know Teresa Green? No, I didn't know Teresa Green. No, can't help you on that one. What do I think about Maggie Smith? Well, I don't really know her, so I can't really comment. Have I met Alan Bennett? Of course, we've met. Alan Bennett is my mother's friend. A lovely man, absolutely fabulous. Read all his books. Yeah, Alan Bennett brings joy to the world. We love our Alan. Lovely, lovely, lovely man. And Russell Harty, who was, he was involved with, great man also, who sadly died, but he was a nice guy. All of those people of that generation, absolutely fabulous. Richard Whiteley, Twice Nightly, we loved them all. Every one of those people, fabulous. Michael Grade, yeah, Michael Grade, great man. We love a bit of Michael Grade, but sadly he's gone. Yeah, yeah, you've brought up a few. Boy George. Boy George is not a good man. Boy George is an evil piece of trans trash. Whatever he is, he's a pest. He sexually abused a friend of mine. He chained him to a radiator and beat him. So I don't like Boy George. Boy George is a bastard and an evil convicted criminal, and he went to prison for what he did to my friend. So my friend Auden, who's a lovely Norwegian friend of mine, great friend of Heather Bird and myself, lovely, lovely person. Don't you take on us. We care for our friend Auden. We will not stand by and let you abuse Boy George. You're a creep, Boy George. You're a rotter. You're a ratbag. You're a piece of rubbish. Now you need to bog off, and I don't want to ever hear about you again. You should not be promoted. You should not be promoted by the BBC. Shame on the BBC. He's a convicted criminal who went around abusing people. It's disgusting. And he's still allowed to be on television. It's disgraceful. Boy George is a convicted criminal. I can't stand him. Do I like Vanessa Redgrave? I don't know much about Vanessa Redgrave, but I believe she's dead. But I wish her, Liam Neeson and all that, there we are. But my friend was abused by Boy George. I'm more interested in talking. Boy George should be on the Bibby Stockholm. Yes, well, no, Boy George should be in prison again for longer. Vanessa Feltz, oh, she's disgusting. Can't stand the woman. Awful. But I don't like her boyfriend either. Their ex boyfriend, the black man. He's awful. Absolutely vile. Can't stand that. Vanessa Redgrave is still alive. It's her daughter who died in the skiing accident. You are correct. I do stand corrected. But no, I'm not interested in talking about them. I'm talking about Boy George. We were talking about Boy George. We weren't talking about any of these people. So I don't know why you have to keep changing the topic. The topic is Boy George right now. Boy George is a disgusting, revolting, repugnant piece of stain on humanity. He should be ashamed of himself for what he did to my friend Auden Carlson. Auden is a lovely, lovely man. And my friend John Simpson and his wife, very famous people, Heather Bird, Chengiz, married to a billionaire, all sorts of people, they all knew this lovely man. This lovely man did nothing wrong, but he was chained to a radiator and beaten by the nasty Boy George. And he went, "Oh, it was just a psychotic episode." What? Man up, grow up, shut up, take some responsibility for your disgusting toe rag piece of action, you piece of shit. That's what I say to him. How dare you attack a poor man and chain him to a radiator? What is wrong with you, disgusting, revolting? Oh, but he's Boy George. You were sent to prison. You were convicted. Auden was proven to have told the truth. You, Boy George, were proven to be a liar. And you went, "Oh, with Richard Madeley." You went on the TV or whoever it was. It was all a psychotic episode. I didn't mean to do it. Well, why don't you say sorry to your victim, you disgusting piece of toe rag? You are a revolting, evil rat. You are the most. Boy George should never be forgiven because he can't say sorry. Anyone who can't say sorry should not be forgiven. When I do something stupid, I'll say, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it." And I will. And I do it from time to time. I'm an idiot from time to time. I'll admit it. But he won't admit it. He will not say sorry. He's filth. Precisely, Dixie. Dixie is the lady who gets it. Precisely. He's a beast, says Anne of Cleves. Well said. No, we don't like him. I really, really just think it's horrible what happened to my poor friend. He's just okay. So what? He was a gay man who, got involved with this idiot. You should never have got involved with him, but he was a gay man, and gay people do all sorts, straight people do all sorts of stupid things too. But he just happened to get involved with this Boy George, and then he got chained to a radiator. Well, that's not his fault. And the court proved that he was treated in the way he was treated. So Biscuitex says his music is still unlistenable. I don't know what his music even is. I don't even know what Boy George's music is. I've never even listened to a piece of Boy George. I couldn't actually tell you one piece of Boy George music. That's how unconnected I am with him. Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about him. But anyway, he's just gross. He's appalling. How dare he do this to this poor innocent young man? This innocent young man should have been left alone. Disgraceful. Shame on you, Boy George. And you were sent to prison, and you still haven't said sorry, and you want to get away with it and carry on, and the BBC want to give you more programs. Well, the BBC, haven't you learnt the lesson, the BBC, of Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, etc., etc.? And you are now giving airspace to this rat who's a rapist? Are you mad, the BBC? The BBC should be privatized. I don't approve of the BBC. I hate the BBC with a passion. I am up there with any. I'm sorry. I'm very right wing when it comes to the BBC. The BBC is a completely waste of space. Close it down. I like the Archers, obviously. I love my Archers. I love that. That's the only thing I really like. And I like the Radio 4 Today program, even though I hate Amal Rajan because he's just a left wing pest and he's so boring. I'm absolutely sick of hearing you, Amal Rajan. You're just dull. But what I want, privatize the BBC. Sell it off. We should not be paying for this disgusting broadcaster that allows broadcasting of nonsense, including Boy George, a man who's been sent to prison for, sexual assault. Why would you ever have that man on your channel as a presenter? Shame on you, the BBC. You're a disgrace. The BBC is a rotten organization and it's run by a load of rubbish. ITV's no better. I'm not saying ITV is any better, but ITV is a commercial company, so it can do what the hell it wants. I cannot criticize ITV in the same way I can criticize the BBC, but we as the license payer can criticize the BBC. The BBC should not be paying for Boy George to be on your channel. Take him off. He is a convicted criminal. Take him off your channel. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely morally wrong. Give the space to somebody who isn't a criminal. Don't you give him airtime. But no, you're the BBC, so you have to be woke. Oh, yes, we have to bring in the nice little gay. That's what you're about. Shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. Disgraceful channel that you are. The BBC, buggers broadcasting communism, is what Christine Hamilton always used to call you. And she's completely right. You are a communist channel. You're a disgrace. Shame on you. We hate you, the BBC. You're awful. And it's terrible. I love the Archers. And I love the Radio 4 Today program, other than the fact Amal Rajan is one of the presenters. I prefer the other presenters. When he's not on it, it's much better. But what have you done to yourself, the BBC? BBC were meant to be the best in the world of broadcasting. And you've ruined yourselves. Absolutely sent yourself down the sewer. It's a total shocking state of affairs. It's appalling. We are so disappointed as a nation in you. So, anyway, that's my view on the BBC. Buggers broadcasting communism. There we go. Okay, next. Right. Okay, right. Boy George assaulted vulnerable young man. Yes, well, he did. Right. You got rid of your television because you don't want to watch it. You don't like your license fee for 7 years because you don't like EastEnders. Okay, well, that's fair enough. Michael Barrymore defended Hugh Edwards. Well, that's not hardly surprising, is it? Um, Hugh Edwards, the worst. Well, yeah. Well, there you go. BBC, BBC quality broadcaster. Hey, Anyway, there you go. So I've given you a series of views on the BBC. The BBC are nothing but a load of rubbish, are they? Okay, would you like a quiz or not? We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes, so it's probably time to have a quiz if we're going to have a quiz, and then I will go to bed. So I don't know if you want a quiz. Would you like a quiz? If you'd like a quiz, you can have a quiz. Right. Oh, are we ready for the first quiz? And then I'll go to sleep. Okay. Right. Quiz. Right. Okay. I'll try and write it on the side of the paper. Right. The Blue Nomad would rather no quiz. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll do the quiz and then we can always have a bit of chatter afterwards. Right. Okay. So, in which year, this is the first question, if you're ready, did Jack Black, Adrian Brody, and Naomi Watts star in the remake of King Kong? It wasn't 2019, it wasn't 1997, it wasn't 2004, it wasn't 2007, it wasn't 2014, it wasn't 1985, it wasn't 2018, no, it wasn't 2012, it wasn't 2011, it wasn't 2009, no, it wasn't 2020, it wasn't 2004, it wasn't rugby. I don't know what rugby would be, but it was 2005, so Dance Up gets the first point. Well done to Dance Dance Up gets 1 point. Well done, Dance Up. You've danced it up into the thing. It was a 25-foot Kong. It was CGI enhanced Andy Serkis. There you go. With which BBC series is the ferret-loving character Compo associated? Compo. Well, which one was Compo associated with? It wasn't dogging. Sarah Havison gets the point. Well done, Sarah. It was the last of the summer wine. So Sarah Have is what I'm going to call you because this is an abbreviation. You're like an airline now. You've all got your own airline tags, like you're on a private jet, like you're going to be at Jeff Bezos's private wedding. There we are. Right. So, in which English county would you specifically find Chichester? I don't want the specific county. I don't want just the generic. I want the specific. Alfie's mum gets it partly right, but it's not the full thing. So, which county would you find it in? So, it's not the correct answer. Nope. Nope. Miss Marple gets it with West Sussex. So Miss Marple is correct. I was very specific. So I'm sorry to you who didn't answer correctly, but I was very specific. I said, in which specific. So there we are. Right. With which sport was David Sid Lawrence associated? It was not football. It wasn't golf. But Dance Up gets it with cricket. So Dance Up gets a second point, taking Dance Up into the lead. It was cricket. He was a fast bowler, first British born black cricketer to play for England, died 20th of June 2025, one of cricket's most popular figures, a respected man. And he sounded like a true gentleman. I never met him, but I'm sure my friend Henry Blofeld did know him. So there we go. Anyway, next question. What did Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain declare at 11:15 a.m. on the 3rd of September 1939? Miss Marple can have it with war. So Miss Marple is now joint second. It was war with Germany. Britain was at war with Germany, obviously. In which year was the first Earl Kitchener born? It wasn't 1937, no. It wasn't 1912. It wasn't 1886. Leslie S is close. So if nobody gets close, Audrey gets the point. Well done, Audrey. It was 1850. So, of course, Earl Kitchener was the man who is related to Julian Fellows, of course, and all of that. And that story. Well, his wife isn't related to that. Let's be honest. And he, gosh, I've now lost my page. He was born. He died 1850, obviously. So he was born 1850. He died 1916. 24th of June. He was born. Your Country Needs You poster and Secretary of State for War during World War One. Okay, next, starring Jack Warner. In which year did Train of Events premiere? Train of Events, a comedy drama and an anthology. What year did it premiere? It's not 1980, it's not 1987, it's not 1932, it's not 1967, it's not 1956, it's not 1947, it's not 1951. No, no, no. Everything is wrong. Audrey is close, but not quite. No, not to John Clifford. He's close, but not quite. Mistopheles is totally incorrect. Mother Duck is further away. We go from further away to further away. No. Audrey gets it. Okay, Audrey gets the point. Well done. Second point to Audrey. 1949. That's the year. Okay, on which BBC channel is the One Show shown? On which BBC channel is the One Show shown? Miss Marple gets another point. So Miss Marple is now in the lead. It's, of course, BBC One. How much did in US million dollars at auction at Sotheby's in 2023 did a Louis the 16th gilt walnut chair for the boudoir of Marie Antoinette sell for? How much did it sell for in US million dollars? It wasn't 10, no. It wasn't 32. It wasn't 2 billion, no. No, no, no. None of you are very close, other than Anne of Cleves. I'll allow Anne of Cleves the point. You're close because it was 2.8 million, and you said 3. So I'll allow Anne of Cleves the point. Well done to Anne of Cleves. You can have the point. I'll allow you the point. Who once said, "I know not what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones"? It was not Oscar Wilde. It was Einstein, yes. So Dance Up gets the point. New Dance Up, a third point to Dance Up. So we've got lots of people we've only got a few people participating in this quiz. It's terrible. Out of 142 of you, we're only getting a few hitters. Maybe my questions are a bit hard. Right. How much has Jeff Bezos, and I think this is disgusting, spent on his June 2025 marriage to Lauren Sanchez, supposedly $1 million? It's not billions, no. No, no, no. Who's the snitch can have the point because you're close. You say 46 million. Who's snitch? Oh God. It's supposedly about 48 million. Very vulgar. And they're ruining Venice. And as someone connected with Venice and having, real connections with Venice, we don't like what's going on with this nonsense. It's terrible for Venice. It's not very pleasant to have this nonsense going on, and Kim Kardashian and all this crap. Okay. Anyway, it's nice they spend a bit of money, but so they're not adding to the city. They're just vulgarians, and they're wrecking it for everyone else. So it's not very pleasant. Don't ruin other people's lives, you horrible people. Go and have your wedding and your stupid boat. Ghastly people. Anyway, I hope they have a fun time. Anyway, they will. Okay, in which whodunit? Okay, no, sorry. In which year were 30 Britons amongst those massacred on a beach at the Tunisian resort of Port El Kanatoui? Which year did the massacre of the British occur? Audrey gets the point, unfortunately, because it's a horrible question. It was 2015, and may those poor souls rest in peace. It's terrible what happened to those poor people. In which whodunit drama series did Neil Dudgeon star as Inspector Barnaby? Neil Dudgeon, which was he Inspector Barnaby? Alfie's mum can have it. Well done to Alfie's mum, a new entrant. Alfie's mum. We love our Alfie's mum, but you get a point. Of course, it was Midsummer Murders. Boring, silly show. What was the Christian name of the detective Bergerac in the series set in Jersey? What was his Christian name? John Clifford gets it with Jim. John Clifford. Well done, John. John C. 1 point. So at the moment we've got in the lead, oh my goodness, we've got three of you in the lead. Oh dear. This is very unfortunate because I don't want a tiebreaker. I hate tiebreakers. It's very convoluted. Right. Okay. So, next question. What was the Christian name? No. Sorry. What is the plural of femme fatale? What is the plural of femme fatale? Spelled FEMMEFATALE. What is the plural? The correct answer Miss Marple has is the femme fatale added an S. So Miss Marple goes directly into the lead. Well done, Miss Marple. Right. What does the acronym ASL mean? The acronym ASL. ASL. Spelled ASL. What does it mean? It doesn't mean American Sign Language. Adam Forbes gets it. So a new entrant is Adam Forbes. Age, sex, location. Adam F. Well done. That's 1 point for you. I don't think you're going to win the quiz, but you're well in the way of joining in. If in Cockney rhyming slang you referenced your Uncle Bert, what would you be referencing? If you reference your Uncle Bert, what would you be referencing? Anne of Cleves is now getting a 2nd point. It's, of course, your shirt. Well done, her. At which airport is Concorde 212BOAR displayed? In a purpose-built hangar in Barbados. Which airport? No, it's in Barbados. No, which airport in Barbados? Not Heathrow. What is the name of the airport in Barbados? It's not Paris. It's not Heathrow. It's not Bridgetown. No. No. You're not very good at this question. Where is the Concorde displayed? Lewis says you've been. It wasn't the Cilla Black Airport, no. Jessica Lavatory gets the point. So well done to Jessica. 1 point to you, Jessica. Well done. It was the Grantley Adams Airport, of course. So Jessica is the only one with a bit of brain. I don't know. Are you all the weakest link? You know, Anne Robinson would tell you to say goodbye. My God, I've never known people with such silly brains. Don't you know anything about Barbados? Or maybe just don't go there. Anyway, never mind. Next question. So, right. Okay, let me find the question. Right. The penultimate question is: in which year did Mickey Mouse, the most beloved mouse in the world, start out as a simple black and white character? Which year did he start out as a simple black and white character? It wasn't 1932, it was 1948. We have got a correct answer from Leslie S. So Leslie S is a new entrant to the quiz. It was 1928. But we've only got 1 point, so you're not going to win. And the final question, which could define the quiz, but I don't think it will. It could cause a problem with the quiz. With which sport is Josh Tongue associated? Josh Tongue. It's not horse racing, it's not rugby. Hey Tiggers gets it with Hey Tiggers. So Hey Tiggers' intervention has resulted in the winner of the quiz being Ding Dong, Miss Marple. Well done to Miss Marple. You've won again. Miss Marple has got 4 points, and Audrey has 3 points, and Dance Up has 3 points, and everybody else has only 1 or 2 points. So thank you very much for joining in. So we love your joining in, and you've been absolutely fabulous. Thank you very, very much for your participation. So that's been very good. Right. Well, our guest won last night who was visiting. Right. So there we go. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you very, very much. I don't know what else we can do. And tomorrow we'll probably try and have a proper program and talk about real issues, which, quite frankly, I think I need to do. But I need to go to bed now. I'm not feeling very well. I am in pain, and I need to go to sleep. So I thank you for your kindness, and you've all been great, and you've been wonderful and delightful. So it's been wonderful to have such lovely support and kindness. But it's now time for me to go to sleep, I think. I just need to go to. There comes a point where you just know that you've got to go to bed. But I have to lie down in a certain way, and I will. And then tomorrow, well, I think we have the intention that we're going to go out and have a nice lunch and try and have a better day. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, I just want to say thank you very much to all of you. You've all been very, very, very kind, and thank you. Take care. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and have good gardening. Take care. Bye bye.